I'm going to do something today that I normally don't, and that's give a review of a product that I haven't had for very long. I usually like to ride something for quite a while before I give an opinion on it, but I don't think there are many of these decks, if any, in the States. So I thought people might be interested in learning a bit about it, at least from a very first impression standpoint. Also coming from primarily a pumper and paddler that is not primarily a pusher. So this is the Lo-Ply Leslie. If anything I say about it sounds incorrect, it very well may be. Whatever I've learned about it has been off their website and Instagram page and a couple discussions back and forth with the owner. So if I say anything incorrect, please correct me. This is an 8-ply all-wood Canadian maple deck that I believe is based off of an older design, maybe chopped or somehow altered, but I may be wrong about that. It uses traditional kingpin trucks. In my case, I have Ace 44 truck on the front and Ace 22 on the back, the rear, I mean. It has stock bushings from the Ace trucks, Hoku wheels, and a half-inch 3D printed drop riser for both trucks. I believe the front and back angles are identical. Maybe not. It looks like it's more severe in the back. See, I'm showing what little I know. But pretty significant angle in the front, maybe a severe angle in the back. It's very low to the ground compared to my plaited tail mounted on the Procyon Milanokaka. It's about half the board height. Very tight tolerances, although I've not gotten close to wheel bite on the deck, but I have gotten wheel bite on my shoe as I'm learning, the tolerances in the front. I think if my foot is not directly in the center where the truck is, I have caught the wheel, which has not been catastrophic, but a little jolting, so I'm learning that. It's only my second ride. Come along and I'll talk about it a little bit more. So you can see how low the deck is. Pushing is stupid easy. One thing I have to get used to is I want to pump everything, and I don't have this optimized for pumping. This has pretty wedged TKP trucks, which get a little squirrely if you're trying to do something like pumping. Going in a straight line is very stable. Has a nice pocket to it. It actually reminds me of the pocket of the Procyon, where there's a nice, nicely defined center, slight angled concave on either side. It's very obvious where to put your foot, especially with the front truck right there. You don't need a foot stop or anything. Going hard is very intuitive and easy. I can even ride a parallel stance and paddle. This rewards going in a straight line, at least as far as I can tell. Anytime I try to deviate from that plan with sort of like carving, trying to do little pumps, I slow down. That might be the Hoku wheels, might be my technique, might be the trucks. It's certainly not optimized for pumping, and that's okay. Kind of why I got it, that it wasn't like some of my optimized pumping setups. I wanted something just different. So this is a different kind of board. I think it's going to be polarizing. I think there are going to be people that look at it and say, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's different. I like TKP trucks. I like sort of the vibe of this deck, and I think those will be naturally people who are drawn to it. And then other people, if you don't like TKP trucks, this probably isn't the deck to start with. I think you could adapt it to other uses, but I think off the shelf it's going to be limiting if you want to avoid TKP trucks. It's very solid. I'm trying to show a little bit of bounce to it. You can see it doesn't give much. With that in mind, I thought it might be a little uncomfortable, but it isn't. It's like super comfortable, even without much flex. The wood's comfortable. It soaks up bumps easily. The one thing I'm learning pretty quickly is that these Hoku wheels, they don't really like going laterally over debris. They handle debris great. going over little pebbles, pine cones, sweet gum seeds. It all does that with ease. That's kind of confidence inspiring. But if you're trying to turn as you go over that debris, it feels a little slippery to me. And that may be just me. That may be the whole setup with the TKP trucks. Maybe the wheels, might be a little bit of everything. But mostly it's fun, and I don't mind it. And I'm usually careful sort of pumping over debris anyway, or carving too hard. And this is why you pay attention if you start hearing squeaks on your deck that you didn't hear before. I was riding along and my rear truck was squeaking quite a bit. And here I've got a single bolt left, single nut, I should say. Yeah, now this was my fault. I took the back truck off. I was experimenting yesterday trying to put something on the back that would be a little more stable compared to this highly wedged TKP truck. And I didn't manage to find anything that fit, that accomplished what I had hoped to accomplish. So I put it back on, but obviously I did not adequately tighten the nuts into the lock nut part. So this is going to be a very slow skate home, and I'll have to put some new hardware on it. But I'm thankful I didn't lose anything more than 3 little nuts and 3 washers. The rather obvious question is, how does this deck compare to the Pantheon Pranayama? And that's going to be a tough one. I can't tackle that in this video. If you like the Pranayama, you're going to like this deck as well. You'll probably have a preference out of the two. I don't have enough time on this deck to offer my preference. I will point out a couple of differences. The Pranayama has fiberglass in its construction, and the Lo-Ply Leslie does not, as far as I know. The shape of this Lo-Ply, it doesn't have that crescent wedge. It's just more of a straightforward wedge. You might have an opinion on that. I'm not sure I do yet. I kind of like this shape myself. It's pretty straightforward, but I think the crescent shape accomplishes a very similar sort of thing with a slightly different emphasis. So that's one thing to point out. The other thing is that this deck, it approximates having rocker. I guess you could call it rocker, but there's no rocker in the middle of the deck. It's very flat throughout most of the deck. It's just raised on the necks. They're quite wedged. So it has a little bit of that hammock feel, but nothing like a drop cat, if you're familiar with that, a Lanyard's drop cat. I have one of those, and that's quite sketchy for me to try to ride comfortably. This has nice pockets for your feet. Like, you put your foot in the pocket, you don't feel that hammock feeling at all. It's there if you want it, if you want to make it sort of carvy and sort of feel that hammock sensation. It's there, but it's not predominant when you want to just push in a straight line. So I think that's a reasonable place to stop. I know I didn't cover everything. If you have questions you wanted me to answer, I'm happy to try to tackle those. Try not to say something I don't really understand. And if anything I said is wrong, like I said, please try to correct me. I'll do one little fast push run just to show you what that's like. Again, it feels really stable, pushing up to speed. I'm just going in a straight line. That's what it wants to do anyway. It's nimble. It's a good city board, but you want to drop the hammer, it's ready to go with you. And then for paddling, it's a good paddle platform as well.